Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Stop Being Hateful. We're on episode 8, it's August, it's the 8th month, we got 4 more months of 2020 to go, so let's get this bread. I'm your host, Lori Fogg.
And I'm your co-host, as always, Adam McAvoy.
Adam McAvoy, a real king. So, we're plowing through
Pushing on.
Season 7 of Real Housewives of New York, New Jersey. I'm sorry, I just started watching Real Housewives of New York, that's why I'm kind of thinking about it, but we're gonna be recapping episode. What episode are we on? I'd say 13.
I think we're on episode 8.
Oh, okay, episode maybe 13. Wait, what is that? We're pulling it up.
We
right
are
now.
on episode 9. Yeah,
episode
so
9.
Okay,
so we just finished episode 8. I'm
I'm
sorry. I'm not good with numbers. And so we're gonna just be talking about some of our talking points, what we think of the season so far. How would you say this stacks up to say a season 2? Adam,
I think it's better than season 2.
You think it's better than season 2?
That's a table flipping season.
Well, it's season 1, but the iconic Danielle Staub drama is in season 2 when Dina leaves like a third way through.
That's the table flipping scene is just so iconic. But that's why I said season. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. Oh, season 2 sucks. What are we talking about?
What?
Danny Provenzano is the best part of season 2.
Danny Provenzano?
And after that, the rest of the season just goes downhill.
The series, you mean?
No, the season.
Oh, after Danny gets introduced.
Yeah, after Danny, he's like the high watermark of of season 2, and he's also the low mark of season 2.
He's a real cultural icon, if I may.
If you had to have like a real I'm not gonna get into that real Italian name.
What's a
I guess for a girl it'd just be Marie.
What would my Italian alter ego be?
Just Maria.
My Italian OC?
Yeah.
Rosalina.
We got a Rosie in the Real Housewives of New Jersey,
but not a Rosalina.
It's too close.
Gia. I like that Teresa's kids all have names like Gia, Melania.
Well, it's because Italian is a gendered language and female names end in A.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
Teresa.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just a wealth of knowledge.
Well, Latin. That's same with Spanish.
Well, I took Latin for 3 years, so that's not really saying a lot because I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Latin is so hard. I can't believe people ever spoke it with how hard it is. It's really not that difficult when you break it down. There's 6 cases and each case could be possessive or plural or whatever, but still it's a lot. It's a lot to remember when you're in high school and your professor lets you cheat on the exams.
Oh yeah, good point.
So, I just want to talk first and foremost. I owe you an apology about we got into a little, a debate on the pod about Envy by Melissa G, and
I got into multiple debates about Envy
on
by
and
Melissa.
off the pod.
On and off the pod, and it's not even a political thing. It's just not even a political values.
We love
sort
women
of thing.
on the pod.
We love women. We love shopping.
We love.
It's just what It's just what she's done this time after time.
She doesn't
where
have
she takes a story arc for the season, and then we're just supposed to be okay, this is her real life, when it's just not.
This is who she wants to be. I find it crazy though that her husband was I'm going to build you a full-on studio for this whim that you have, that you've managed to I feel for girls who have dead dads, once you mention the dead dad, it's kind of all over in terms of any sort of argument, and for her to be this is something I used to do with my father to reconnect. Joe Gorgo is probably fuck, what am I gonna say? No, you
can't say no to the dead dad card.
To building the studio, what am I gonna say?
And he had to say yes, and now his wife's on display.
And on display. I keep forget. I only know that part of the song. I was listening to it the other day.
Every day.
Yeah, I was listening to
They keep on waiting for me to fall,
but they can keep on waiting on me.
That's old techno.
I wish DJ James Kennedy would do a remix of it.
Ooh, maybe we can petition it.
He did
maybe
a remix
we can start
of Countess Luann's song.
Oh, that terrible one.
Was it Money Can't Buy You Class that we always play?
Money can't buy you class. Oh yeah.
A Connecticut treasure. She's from Connecticut.
She says like that song has like the funniest like hype man. It's just her being her own hype man, but she just says, "Oh yeah," like over and over again.
There's another song that she has where she goes, "One day at a time, keep you cool and you'll be fine. One day at a time, keep you cool, don't lose your mind." And I just think that's like such a funny, like, who is she telling? Like, who is her audience for the song?
You know,
like,
have you ever seen like Riley Reid rapping?
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, she's a porn star.
Oh.
She's like
Is she really?
Yeah. And,
is she a painter too, I think?
No, she's not.
There's like one porn star that I saw on Instagram that was like a painter now, and they were horrible paintings, but she was getting a lot of money for them.
Well, I bet. She probably has a big following. You know, anyone who, like, Action Bronson isn't a good painter, but he gets a lot of money for his paintings because he has a lot of fans.
I'm so happy you said that on the podcast, so now I have it.
So now you have?
I have it as collateral for any time you bring up Action Bronson's paintings again and tell me they're good.
They're not bad. They're just not...
No, they're not bad.
Yeah.
She said about a lot of things. I don't think getting stung by a jellyfish is bad. It's not good, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of getting stung by a jellyfish...
You're such a snob when it comes to painting.
I do have a BFA in it.
Yeah.
A flex. On the pod, I love flexing my degree on the pod. It's really the only time I ever get to bring it out in real life. But speaking of getting stung by a jellyfish, Joe Giudice suffered that recently on his Instagram
yeah, he posted
story.
it all on Instagram.
His Instagram is wild.
He also posted a Man of War he posted a picture of a Man of War.
Those are from Portugal, aren't they? They're not even like in Italy.
Oh, I have no idea.
I've never seen one of those before.
Well, Portugal's really close to Italy.
Giant Man of War. Is it really?
Are you serious?
Please, no, I don't know. I'm sorry.
It really looks like he took like an image off of like.
Yeah, there's no way he saw this in the water. Also, I feel like you'd be dead if one of those things stung you.
I feel like they do a lot.
Do you mean to tell me you could survive that?
I don't think he actually posted this, but he posted like a giant blue.
It's a giant jellyfish. Stay away from this, sailor.
Yeah, he posted.
This looks like it would kill you.
Like, if you guys have never seen a Man of War, they are crazy looking.
They're pretty. They look like
a piece of. They like underneath the water. They look like seaweed, with like
legs.
It looks like a brain, like a clear brain.
It looks like those things that you'd get at the arcade that were like filled with like jelly and like stars and stuff. It's like one of those.
But we're about to show Lori where Portugal is on a map, everyone.
Isn't it in South America?
Portugal?
Yeah.
Babe, it's right next to Spain.
Oh, it's in Europe?
Lori. Like...
Where is it on a map, though? This is just a
right
map
here.
of...
It's right here.
Oh, so it's kind of close to Italy, I guess.
Yeah, it's on the western side of Spain.
Oh, I'm thinking of Panama.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I was getting confused. But, you know, enough about me. But I do owe you an apology about Melissa because we've been through this multiple times with the singing, with the book, and now with the shop. And I'm kind of over it. Like, I don't find her interesting enough on her own to like really give a shit about this store, especially when to me she's like being wrong.
And she's, you know, she says things in her like talking head that's like what, you know, she in the beginning of the story arc of her opening Envy, she's saying stuff like, well,
I put all my money into this. This is my
which I don't
disbelieve. I don't disbelieve
either. But you know, it's just difficult to be like, that's my money when you're on the show because your brother, your husband is the brother to the star of the show.
Yeah, I mean,
and she doesn't bring anything to the show.
She's not interesting enough. Like, she really isn't. Like, I don't care about her. Like, I just don't. Like, I mean, like, we have the same birthday, so I feel like I should have a loyalty to her because that means something to somebody somewhere. But it's just like, I just don't find her interesting. I mean, like, I guess I'd maybe be more inclined to root for her this season if she wasn't like always just like saying the wrong thing and like showing that she really doesn't understand how to like run a business.
She keeps getting into like
fights with her business partner, which is like really awkward to watch because it's like, why would you show yourself in this like way that shows you as like ignorant and is like kind of unflattering?
Well, that's why I love to watch that, because it's like, it's one of the very few times we actually get to see a housewife be acting ignorant and unflattering.
No, they do that all the time.
I don't know. Who?
Maybe not New Jersey, but in other franchises.
Yeah, who like tries to act like that? You know?
Yeah, it's like So usually, if they're acting like that, that's who they really are, and is a part of like their character on the show. But like Melissa, it's like, what am I? Am I supposed to be like rooting for you? Like, am I supposed to like think like, oh, this woman is a bitch, like your business partner? Like, what am I?
I'm currently making the Photoshop for our Instagram post. What if I put Melissa's face on the horse in this picture?
Oh, because Joe always calls her a horse face.
Yeah, I'll make her face. I'll make her head bigger.
That's really funny.
I know. I'm a funny guy.
But yeah, I do think she's kind of being excessive this season and kind of just like, oh wow, I really don't like you, like as a.
But you know, Joe was like, well, this is what's gonna happen. He's like, you're not gonna spend as much time with the family. I'm not the one to spend time with the family. Like I'm.
And it's also like a part of like the culture, like, you know what I mean? Like they're like old traditional Italian people. They're not gonna be down with you like all of a sudden like gaining.
It's not like she was in this business before they got married or like a year ago. She wasn't, you know what I mean? Like
this wasn't her passion like last season, you know? And I feel like if it's gonna be believable, like with Teresa, she's always had the cookbook. She's always like, you know what I mean? Like
every season she's working on the books.
Yeah, I believe and I buy that she does like probably like writing to an extent and probably makes a ton of money from it.
Like likes going to signings.
Yeah, you know? I feel like she loves meeting fans, and I feel like she loves saying she has fans.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like she gets a lot out of doing these things. But with Melissa, it's like, okay, not everything can be your passion. You can't link everything to, like, your trauma. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it just gets boring for me as a viewer to watch. Like,
I always find it weird when people are like, this art is about my trauma. This art is, like, reflective of my trauma. It's like, don't you want to build
like, don't you want to have fun? I mean, it is a good way to explore, like, the different layers of your life, but it shouldn't be...
Well, I mean, I don't know.
It gets reductive at a certain point.
You know, I like the reason why fetishes can like this is off topic, but like sexual fetishes and like obsessions can get bad is because they're based around reliving trauma.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
did you watch that on Dr. Drew?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Laura knows me too well.
Anytime Adam comes to me with a fact that's like medical, I'm like, I know there's no way you would have learned that organically. Like you had to listen to that on Dr. Drew.
Oh my gosh.
It's not like a passion of yours to study medicine like in your free time.
No. Well, I mean, I do take vitamins.
Adam just started taking vitamins.
That's not true.
Adam just started taking vitamins in the time
No, that's also not true. I just started taking vitamin D.
Oh, Adam just started taking vitamin D.
Yes. Yeah, Lori.
I remember on one of our first times we hung out together with your parents, you and your mom got into not a fight, but like into a disagreement over how to say it's like the yellow powder. It's like the anti-inflammatory. Turmeric. Yeah. You got into a huge, not a big.
It wasn't a huge
she got very
fight.
indignant.
I was just like, no, you are saying it wrong, and she's like, no, I'm not. And
you pulled up.
I don't even remember how to say it now.
I don't remember. We don't need to find out how.
We're googling. Turmeric.
I don't think you say the R, babe.
No, you do say the R.
Okay.
You do. That's the whole thing. Is no one ever says the R.
Okay, but back to what we're talking about.
Turmeric.
Okay.
Turmeric.
Here, wait, this is your button.
Turmeric.
He clicked on the slow button for those of you that can't see at home.
You want to practice along with it?
I'm gonna hit you.
I don't know. It's just Envy's annoying because she has a business partner
who's like openly saying you can't buy only mini skirts and dresses. People don't want to buy that.
Like she literally said like that is you like she goes your demographic that you are at marketing to
0.1% of the population.
Like skinny mothers that go out at night
like
that
MILFs.
Can afford this afford this clothes. Like those aren't. Like that's such a small demographic.
Like yeah, and when you have a boutique, like I feel like if I had one, wouldn't it be kind of fun to see everybody at your store? You know, like I think I'd feel bad as a person. It'd be like I feel like I knew that the things I had in my store, like, I mean, not that my fashion is for everybody or the way that I like dress is for everybody, but if I had a boutique, it'd make me feel good that everybody, like all body types or all people, could come in and find something. You know. Also, you make a lot of money that way.
Which is the thing with like. Posh like the posh fashion show, which again is another thing. I believe in my heart of hearts that they literally drew straws or something for which one of them had to open up a boutique. Like all their housewives, so like like Dolores was either her gym or a boutique, so they didn't have to.
Dolores is also a terrible businesswoman.
Yeah, well,
from what we can see, her business partner is like, "Where the fuck are you? You said you'd be here today," and she's like, "Well, I got caught up with the kitchen's being gutted." It's like, why the fuck would that prevent you from going to
your business?
Like, yeah. I don't get how that would stop. Like, I'm getting back on my feet. How would that stop you from showing up to talk with your business partner? Like,
yeah, it is pretty. It's kind of telling. That you're not as invested as other people.
But that was a good pivot. So I want to talk about how we feel about the new housewives, Siggy and Dolores.
Well, Siggy is correct in her opening. She is way too much.
But yeah, people are right when they say that. I love that. I love that as a tagline because it's like, it's not really boastful, and it's not really like positive. I don't think it's just like a fact.
Yeah, that people
like it's an objective fact. People say I'm too much, and they're right. Like she's self-aware enough to know that about herself, which I admire.
I just think
she's
it's
not
so weird. I really do think like her the conversations almost she has with her children are a little weird.
Why?
It's just like it's different when you see Teresa interacting with her like children, mm-hmm. and then you see Siggy interacting with her like
adolescent children.
Well, like 15-year-old and 17-year-old. Yeah. It's like or whatever they are. It's just I don't know. It's different when you're like, I'm gonna embarrass you about puberty and growing older on national television.
But I genuinely think that's just her mom style. Like I don't think she's doing it on purpose.
I don't think she's doing it on purpose either. I just think it is something.
It is a thing that she does.
Absolutely.
And. Yeah, but I like her. I find her very, like, funny and, like, kind of cute and, like, quirky in a endearing way, I like that when she was helping Dolores, like, get her finances together and was like, you should never depend on a man. Like, you should get your shit together, like, for your sake, you know?
She's like, I never want my girlfriends to be...
Yeah, I thought that was very sweet and, like, I don't know. I don't know, there was something in me that was like, that's a really nice thing to say. And like a nice way to operate like with your friendships, which is probably why I don't think she lasts past this season.
Probably the reason why.
Because she's probably a very nice person, and Dolores I like.
Well, the promos for episode 9 are looking pretty wild, to be honest. Is
this a mid-season trailer?
The episode 9, kind of. I think so. It's yeah. Mid-season, because I think the season like ends episode 14 or something, like that's the finale.
Yeah, but how do you feel about Dolores, babe?
She's fine. She's just very she's just there. Like she doesn't do much.
Yeah, I like her storyline a little bit.
It's better than Melissa's.
I kind of just feel like she's kind of interesting to me in a way because she kind of pretends to be like, not pretends, but she puts on this front that she's like this very like independent and like strong woman, and yet she literally gives all of her bills to her ex-husband.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what's not clicking? Like, what do you want me to believe this woman is like strong and like, or she's like, that's probably like the front she puts on because she talks about it in one of the episodes where she like likes to be like strong, but she seems very like sad and like.
Yeah, she says like I've never cried in front of my children or my family. It's like,
it's like, oh, that's sad.
Like I do not cry a lot, but like that seems a lot like excessive.
Like a lot, like
you never cry in front of anyone ever. Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's just walling yourself off completely to emotion.
Which is probably why I'm getting the reading that I am on her. Like I feel like if she was more like open emotionally, it would be kind of easier for me to deal with watching her, but instead it's just like difficult. I find I don't know, I'm not engaged.
She's not making it easy to be like, oh, I care about this person, because she's not like the biggest thing that's happened to her in the season is her dog died, which is very difficult, but it's like even then you're like, she's like, I didn't go put down like my dog, my dog was the only person there for me all these years.
Yeah, but I didn't go to help him get put down.
I didn't go to put him down.
I was like I'm gonna get it, but like, am I supposed to feel sorry for you? Like,
yeah, I'm like, I feel sorry for the dog.
Yeah, I feel bad for your kids. Like,
no, I don't know.
Her husband's a lawyer. Her meathead husband.
Her meathead
Big
ex.
Frank.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Big Frank. Yeah.
There's one episode in season 11 where he drinks like an apple teeny. They go to the bar, and like all the guys like joke over like just roasts him.
About because he drank an apple teeny.
Yeah, he's like, look at you, what are you doing? Hey,
Joe
get outta
Gorga. Joe
here."
Gorga's like the guy who's like, have you ever seen the thing that's like, never mind, doesn't matter. But like, yeah, he just like goats people. Like he's just so small, and he just like puts on dresses
like
and
a little
like
sausage.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not scary. I'm little Joe. I'm making jokes. I'm just a little guy. You can't beat me up.
Look at me, I'm just a little baby. What are you gonna do? Beat up the baby, man?
Exactly.
And so we're gonna pivot a little bit. And I want to talk about Jacqueline.
The fall, the
housewife
real fall,
really...
the decline of Jacqueline, honestly, is what we should be talking about, because Jacqueline was one of my favorite housewives.
One of mine as well.
And I don't want to watch her anymore. Like, why is that?
I think it's because she really is. We're seeing in this episode, like in this season, to the fullest extent of which she is her own worst enemy.
Yeah, like she's had so many opportunities to make up with Teresa.
And like I feel like Teresa truly probably does want to make up, and it's probably like
Teresa does not. It does not seem like to me that Teresa's like starting any of the drama,
or is holding on to any grudges, or she truly does seem like she wants to move past it, and like
how many times have we seen Teresa like try to apologize or try to go like reconcile?
And she doesn't apologize.
She never apologizes.
So this is like saying something.
And she apologized to Jacqueline, which it's saying that says a lot about like where she is, after prison, because like
she has a lot of clarity, I think. Yeah,
all that yoga really stretched the anger and vengeance
out of her.
I guess it's really weird to see, not really weird to see, but it's strange to see that turnaround.
It's jarring as a viewer. Yeah, because it's like there's like I feel like if all you can keep saying is how much this person meant to you and how important their friendship was to you, and yet at every turn you try to start shit with them, and the second you feel like they've slighted you, you're gonna turn nasty on them and say things about like. Not that you shouldn't joke about Teresa going to prison, but like it's
not that you can't. But it's not she's told you so many times
she doesn't like it.
Like she doesn't like people asking questions. Like she doesn't give that information out freely. So don't seek it from her. You're not gonna get it. Like and she doesn't like she doesn't want to talk about it, and yet you're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna use it as like almost a weapon against her. Yeah. When like. That makes you look horrible. Like it does not make you look good at all. And like just like when they're at the beach or at the pool and she's like, I heard you were talking about me. I was reading lips, and like it's like, why are you doing that? Or why are you gonna say anything about it?
Like why
isn't
are you
that more
even
embarrassing that you're like sitting there reading
lips? Like what do you think? And like what if they're talking about you? They're probably just talking about how nice it is that you're getting along with your friend.
Yeah, that you two aren't arguing. It's like, and if they are talking about that, then it's like, well, that's your fault for arguing so much, like.
Yeah, it's like, what do you, like, you just look like, it reminds me, like, when I was a little kid, I used to always ask people, like, are you my friend? Are you my friend? Are we friends? Like, to, like, re-establish, like, the friendship or whatever, or, like, to make myself feel better, because I was anxious, but it's, like, in reality, like, you're just better off, like, having picking up on social cues than you are, like, being obnoxious like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like with Danielle, like, Staub, it was just so entertaining to watch the drama because it was so low stakes until her daughter got...
No one liked freaking Staub.
Yeah, and, like, with that, it was kind of like she was always in the wrong, so it was pretty hard to obfuscate, like, who was also in the wrong.
Yeah, it was pretty hard to be like, well, Jacqueline, you shouldn't be doing this when, like, she's literally, like, at a gym pretending that she's beating up Jacqueline,
Yeah.
But like it just really sad to see like, yeah, Jacqueline just keeps like taking things as personal insults, and she keeps seeing things as like, oh, they're doing this to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
it's just like
she started crying about
her son, which is legitimately like,
which is legitimate, but again, it's like she's her son missing childhood milestones. Mm-hmm. And all the other women are like, oh, he's wrestling, he's cheerleading, she's cheerleading.
Which must be so hard, especially with Teresa, like, in comparison to, what's Adriana? Because they were, like, born at the same time.
Yeah. You talking about wait, Jacqueline's son?
Jacqueline and Nicholas. Jacqueline's son Nicholas and Teresa and Adriana.
Yeah.
They're like the same age.
Yeah. Which again, like even when Teresa apologized, she was like, "Oh, maybe we can start having the kids socialize and stuff."
You're like, I'll drive you anywhere you want because I know you don't like driving on the highway. That's like such a cute, like that's like a friend thing to offer.
Yeah.
And like, I don't like how Jacqueline keeps bringing up the fact that Teresa went to jail. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she fucking knows she went to jail. Like, you don't need to keep reminding
like
her.
everyone knows. No one. She's not hiding from it. Very
yeah, it's
clearly.
not like when she was like, my case wasn't a criminal case. It's like, yeah, but you still were having legal problems. Like,
yeah, I don't see the point of her saying that. I never did. I was like, this is
like
just
making
petty.
that petty distinction. It's like, okay, well, like you were still having legal troubles, and she still respected your privacy enough not to say anything. Like,
and even if, you know, like you could have, like you can still ask. It's just like when they tell you everything's fine or hey, I'm not comfortable talking about it, you have to respect that.
And for some people, like, they're not going to tell you how they're feeling. Like Chris said, some people just want to know the time and other people want to know how the watch is made.
Yeah, good point.
Like some people just don't want to go that deep emotionally with you, no matter how good of friends you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, like, yeah, just seeing her constantly being, like, just petty and, like, annoying and, like
they were with Melissa and what's her face? Dolores were talking about the chocolate that Teresa spilled, and Jacqueline just whips around and is like, "I hear you whispering," and it's just like
what the fuck? Like, wouldn't you just be like, "Bitch, calm down"? Like,
honestly, I honestly wouldn't know how to respond. I'd probably get like aggressive. I don't know.
Indignant.
I'd be like, "Excuse me."
Like, who are you? Like, why are you so bothered by people whispering? Like,
honestly, it bothers me when anyone's like someone said paranoid. Paranoia, and it's just like, yeah, it's very paranoid, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense either.
It's like I just need another like the storylines this season just seem very produced.
Oh yeah,
like I'm just not having the best time watching it
because it seems like I don't know if the arguments between Jacqueline and people are produced. I really don't think they are.
I don't think they
are. But I think that it's kind of produced maybe in the fact that the producers know that like these people don't want to hang out with one another. Like, you know, they're not getting along. Teresa and Jacqueline.
Yeah, it's not an organic hangout session.
And they just keep throwing them in like, oh, you're going away for the weekend. Oh, we're having the book signing. Oh, here's a dinner, you know?
Yeah, I do think it was really funny that she couldn't travel outside of state lines because of her parole, so they just went to a spa. Teresa, I mean.
Oh, yeah? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there's no, like, big trip this year. They're like, we're going to a different part of New Jersey. Like.
For a weekend.
I'm assuming it's because of her parole. I can't imagine how they would let her go across state lines.
She's an American.
But I imagine she could be considered a flight risk.
Why would she be considered flight risk? Most people who have
she's dual citizenship.
Yeah, but most people who have families aren't considered flight risks.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. But, like, yeah, I just feel like there's just something, yeah, it's like these women don't organically, like, except for Dolores, who we saw in a season of prior of this, I think the third, when they were carving pumpkins, who we know, like, to be a real, like, friend of the family, like, they're not, like, organically hanging out. Like, this isn't like it used to be.
What isn't like it used to be?
Like, the hangouts. Like, with Caroline and Jacqueline, it's like, oh, they're sisters-in-laws, and, like, she's married to her brother. Like, of course they're gonna see each other. Like, oh, Jacqueline and Teresa, they're best friends. Of course they're gonna see each other. Dina and Teresa, they're best friends. Of course they're gonna, like, genuine friends. Like, of course they're gonna see each other.
Do you think Siggy feels like a second-class friend?
She definitely is. I don't think it's a matter of whether or not she feels like it. She definitely is.
Yeah, but do you think she feels that at all?
No, probably not. But
you think she's just too much of a nice person?
I think she's a chill person, and I don't really know. Is she Italian?
No, she's Jewish.
She's just
Israeli.
Jewish?
She's from Israel.
Really?
She was born in a bomb chamber. Or bomb shelter. Bomb chamber.
I don't know what a bomb chamber is, but
a bomb chamber. I
where
don't know
either. Explode bombs. She's too much.
I am too much.
But yeah, I'm sure she probably feels. I'm sure she probably does feel like. What is Siggy even short for? Sigourney?
It's a good guess.
It has to be.
Sigourney.
Like, I just feel like, yeah, these women aren't like they aren't friends naturally, you know, and like there's something off about it all. Like, it doesn't have the same tone as it used to.
I would agree. It seems like they're waiting for the fights, and that's just like doesn't bother me. It's just like, okay, that's what we're doing now.
I feel like I know they have other cast members joining in next season, and like, I feel like next season's really going to be more dynamic because they have a whole bunch of different cast members.
I'm not even used to the cast members that we have.
You're not used to Melissa?
I still think Melissa could be like in the show 70-80% less than she is.
There's like always a petition to get her removed.
Good. I mean, Joe's the real housewife. Especially this season.
You know what I really hated actually about
this season Joe is the housewife though. Like she's making him stay home and watch the kids. And then like he's just going out.
I did want to talk about speaking of Joe Gorga, I want to talk about how Jacqueline called him when she was fighting with Teresa.
Yeah, that was weird.
And how weird I thought that was, and like how I thought Melissa had every right to be upset.
Yeah, she did have a right to be upset at that.
That's your husband. Like, don't call my man, like, trying to get him involved in drama. Like, it's not necessary. Don't do it.
Yeah, it is. It was just weird to see, like, what that her brother and her have had a strained relationship. Why would you put that relationship that's doing, like, okay in jeopardy, like, immediately after prison? It just seems...
It's like, what? He probably doesn't even remember saying that.
It's very telling,
It's like, why would you do that? Like, that's just such a weird...
Again, it's very telling of, like, her paranoia.
You just want to shit stir. You just want to get stuff going.
But there's one other thing that we want to talk... The book signing.
Oh, yes.
Who is this Jim guy?
At this episode. I still don't fully understand why Giudice wasn't like, oh, this is a nightclub event. My children aren't going to be there.
Well, he didn't know that's why. So the rundown is, it's Teresa's book signing after prison. Children are not allowed. If you're under 21, you can't get in because it's in a bar. So the security, as they're going to the place, Joe obviously isn't allowed to invite anyone he wants. Invites his friend Jim. 2 conflicts of interest. He's bringing a 12-year-old. She can't come in, and he's a felon. So Teresa can't be in the same room as him.
Why?
I don't know.
Is that a parole violation, you think?
Probably. That's probably what it is.
Be like fraternizing.
But her lawyer and the head of security for the event was like, he can't come in, and she will get in trouble. And Joe Giudice is just like, fuck the law! Whose law? It's like...
It's the state of New Jersey's.
It's the United States of America.
Parole officers.
You may have heard of it. But it's just like, he's just screaming, and then he goes over to his friend Jim to be like, I tried, there's nothing I can do. And his friend Jim is just screaming in the road.
Yeah.
This is pretty intense. I would be pissed too if I drove from New Jersey to New York and then had to drive back. But at the same time, it's like, what are you gonna do about it?
There's a lot of things to do. It's not like you gotta pack it up. You can do a lot of things at night in New York.
New York.
New York.
Watching too much Futurama.
Yeah, but
Speaking of consuming other media, we watched a classic and then a modern classic recently.
He's talking about Mad Max.
I mean, what were your opinions of both movies? Because we watched back to back the original and then Fury Road.
I feel like Fury Road would have been like amazing to see in theaters.
Yeah,
like I like watching
better.
the movie. I'm like, oh, I really should have seen this with I should have had more friends in high school. Like I should have gone to see this in the theaters, but. Because it was kind of like, some parts of it were just like, oh, this is really nice, like, but it's on a computer, it doesn't feel the same, like, it doesn't have the same effect, I guess, like, I was having a hard time, like, conceptualizing, like, a lot of the things, and I feel like a lot of the details got lost.
Yeah.
So
it is a detail-oriented movie. If people who haven't seen it, it's not too much dialogue in it, so you are taking a lot of visual cues. There's a lot of action. Yeah,
there was a lot of times where I was just like, oh, I missed that visually, so I don't really understand what's happening. Mm-hmm. But I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
But the original
was really, really good.
It slapped.
It's weird that it was in Australia. I didn't know that, so that threw me a little bit, because I was like, wait, Mel Gibson is an Australian. Like, what? He is?
Lori, this is like the third thing this episode that you didn't know.
It's really not a day, and I'm Googling it right now. You don't need to look it up.
Googling Mel Gibson nationality.
He's an American. He's not Australian, Adam. Oh, he has a ton of kids.
Yeah. Babe. He's someone in his family. Mother. Babe, I think both his parents were born in. So one of his parents was Irish. The other one is Australian. So he retains.
Oh no, it says American-born Australian actor.
American-born. So he was So his parents are Australian. So has Australian citizenship.
He was born in Peekskill, New York, though.
Yeah, but as always, I'm correct.
When
it comes down to the nitty-gritty. Right again.
But I was really surprised that the movie was an Australian. Not in
He's
Australia.
Australian. the guy, people just had like Australian accents and stuff.
Well, the guy's like calling himself the Goose. I'm like, I'm sure that means something down there.
Goose.
Like, I don't. It's like I feel like it's an insult in America.
Goose was Tom Cruise's fighter pilot backup buddy in Top Gun.
I've never seen Top Gun.
It's just a nickname. It's not as popular anymore. My dog's name was Goose. Think we're insulting him?
No, I guess I'm thinking like being called a silly goose.
Oh, yeah.
It's like not a good thing.
I feel like geese. People sleep on geese. Geese are mean.
Geese are really nasty.
They're nasty.
They're
they
mean.
fly.
They hiss.
They fly in triangles. They bite and hiss.
Their hisses are so scary.
Yeah, people are sleeping on geese.
Wake up. Get woke on geese.
Get woke. I'm woke. Me and Goose. Me, Goose, and Goose, we're woke.
Me, Goose, and Geese.
Me, Goose, and about our woke about geese. Goose, and
I don't
woke
like
about
that
geese.
word at all.
Geese or goose?
Both.
Moose or meese?
I don't like either of those
You don't
words
like
either.
either of those?
There's something with a double O. The only thing with a double O that I like is goop.
Stop it.
So yeah, I mean, I
with
guess
with that we're ending.
No,
I'm done with the goop reference. We're done. I can't talk about Max Radikowski, whatever his nickname is.
Max.
I just saw it. It's like some crazy name.
I totally forgot what we were talking about.
Oh, turmeric.
Mel Gibson. He's making a new movie, The Passion of the Christ Resurrection.
The Passion of the Christ 2.
What could that possibly be about?
Jesus Christmas. Oh my gosh, we have to watch this trailer. Everyone, if you haven't, I've never.
We have
seen
to mute
before.
it. We can't.
We're muting
We're gonna mute it.
But this trailer premiered.
Wait, is that Chloe? No, this is a fan made. This is not real. Yeah, it says fan made right there, Adam.
What is this?
Why would Chloe Grace Moretz and The Rock be in a movie together?
I don't know, but I was like, The Rock is in this movie? This is the greatest movie of all time! Passion of the Christ 2, The Resurrection.
The Second Coming. Oh, I guess it's about Christ coming to the real world?
Oh my gosh, he was on Jimmy Kimmel doing weird stuff. Oh, wait, that's Jimmy... No, that's
Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert. Passion of the Christ 2.
Is it your dad that doesn't like him?
I don't know.
Stephen Colbert.
I feel like my dad doesn't like a lot of things.
Message was love.
Stop. Have you seen The Passion of the Christ?
No. My mom and my sister went to go see it when I was a kid, and I remember being like, why would you go see a movie like that? You already know what happens. Yeah,
but you know what happened in the Pearl Harbor movie, too.
I guess. What an odd comparison towards...
I don't know, but it's literally the biggest movie in the world.
The Passion of the Christ?
Yeah.
It's the biggest movie in the world?
It made more money than any movie before it. It's like the Bible.
Is that true?
Yeah. If I'm wrong with this, I'm pretty sure I've heard this.
What are you Googling? The Passion?
I'm just gonna Google records.
I don't think it's that big. It didn't make that much money out of it.
I think it did. Its box office made $500 million in 2004.
Is that true?
Yeah. Made $622 million worldwide, just box office. So that's not talking about how many people bought the movie afterwards when it wasn't. And it also gets re-released back into cinemas.
Really?
Yeah, during Easter, people watch it again.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you were quote-unquote raised Catholic, but did you ever go to, like, the Stations of the Cross or anything?
What is that?
So,
wait, yes, I did.
So the Friday before Easter, Good Friday, you're supposed to go to service, and it's like they go through every station, like all 13 stations, up until they nail Jesus to a cross.
Yeah, I think we did go to that once when I was a kid.
Some churches, like my church, just went from like station to station. They have like the stations on the walls, but some churches will reenact it.
Oh, that sounds fun.
By fun, you mean psychotic, because you're seeing a man getting whipped and you like blood and.
Is that like a big honor to be cast as Jesus then?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's like I can't remember. There's some book I was reading with some guy and it was like trying to be Jesus in a play, and like I don't remember what it was.
Interesting.
Like most things in my adolescence, I got knocked out of my head from football.
From concussions.
Concussions knocked the author and title out of my head.
Big stretch.
Ooh, Kennedy's coming over to say.
She's stretching.
She's showing us the time. She's saying, "Hey, wrap it up,
wrap it up, bitches."
As always.
But did you like?
Okay.
Sorry, I just want to.
Did I like the movie The Passion of the Christ?
Yeah. Did you see it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
How many times did you see it?
I've seen it once.
Isn't it like 2 hours long?
It's very long.
It's really long.
It's a long movie.
My mom and my sister were gone for like a day when they went to go see it.
He was like, good. Bye. Let's see how long it was.
It doesn't have that good of a score. I don't feel like this is that good of a movie.
It's not a fun movie to watch.
Who is that?
The guy who
Monica Bellucci?
This guy?
Wow.
This guy was the guy Jim Caviezel, whatever his name is. He was like on track to be a giant movie star, and then he did this movie. He got struck by lightning 3 times during the filming. He like went into the ICU a bunch of times. Like this was a crazy movie for him to film.
What?
And so he didn't do anything for 10 years, a decade after it.
What did he make?
And then he made he was like cast in a CBS show. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Murder, She Wrote.
No.
The Person of Interest.
Person of Interest, which was a good show. I really liked that show.
I like that show.
Yeah, that was a good show.
That was a good show.
But I don't see it. Oh wait, it's
right,
on television.
Television.
Person.
Why are all of these? Paul the Apostle of Christ, running for Christ. Is he like a Christian?
I guess so, but like The Highwayman, that was like a big movie.
That was a big movie.
High Crimes, that Mel Gibson movie, that was a big movie.
The Count of Monte Cristo.
The Rock, he was in with Sean Connery.
Wyatt Earp.
He was in Wyatt Earp? It says he played Wyatt Earp in Wyatt Earp.
He played Warren Earp.
Oh. He played Warren Earp. Oh, wow.
Revolution.
The Wyatt Earp is the worst movie about Wyatt Earp. There's so many better movies about Wyatt Earp.
But you keep talking about this one.
Because it's the funniest. I could talk about this movie Wyatt Earp Wyatt Earp for so long.
We'll make
but
a Patreon episode for
we need a Patreon episode. Oh, I did not go watch Wyatt Earp and look at old Kevin Costner's neck as he plays young Wyatt Earp, and then like I don't know, his neck looks the worst when he's young and somehow gets like recedes and gets tighter and younger and tauter as he gets older.
The Botox.
It's not though. It's the same movie. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's like in I, Tonya when Margot Robbie is with her boyfriend, like Jeff Gillooly, and they're like 18, and she like has braces. And you're like, wow, look at that little 16-year-old. Like,
yeah, it's like I don't.
It's like a full-grown like 30-year-old woman.
It's literally like in the George Lopez show.
They just have the big head and the little body.
Flashbacks. It's exactly that.
It's just like that, folks.
Goodness gracious.
But did you like Mad Max Fury Road or Mad Max the OG more?
So I like Mad Max the OG more, honestly. Okay. And I like it's just a better movie.
It's really stressful.
It is Mad Max Fury Road is a modern movie. It's really intense, has really good, cinematography, fight choreography, stuff like that, sound effects, but like it's not the best story.
I didn't really.
It's sci-fi. It's almost fantasy in how crazy it is, like the dudes spray painting their mouths and then killing themselves, like honor killing themselves and stuff. Yeah. Like it's real out there.
I thought that was awesome though.
Oh, I
was like, oh, this is cool as fuck.
It's cool as fuck. The cars are amazing. Like the guy, the blind dude, like shredding guitar on the giant bass.
Yeah,
mobile.
I don't know why that's happening, but I like it.
Yeah, it's like it's almost fantasy how crazy it is. Like science fiction usually doesn't go like that, but
yeah,
it's. Mad Max, the original, though, was just, like, an intense movie about...
Like, what could happen in the near future.
Yeah, because, like, you know, when it was made, they were just coming out of the gas crisis, and, like, you know, people weren't sure what the 70s were kind of crazy, the 60s were really crazy, what were the 80s going to be like, and they made this movie, which was not, like, a good depiction of the future, but it was a very, you know, possible one.
Yeah.
Very intense one, though. It's like just a whole movie. You're just like, oh, his family's gonna die.
You like, and you're like, oh, I know they're gonna die. Like, there's no way they're not going. Like, even if you didn't read like little blurb or whatever, like you're just like, oh,
yeah,
this is gonna happen.
Like as soon like Max, like the opening scene is like 15 minutes long. Like it's an old movie.
Yeah,
that's you gotta love that about old movies. Like you got the long credits and then instantly right into the movie with a long ass like scene.
Yeah.
So many old movies do that so well.
I love that.
But it's like...
I love, like, being forced to, like, watch all the names. Like, I love it. Like, there's, like, the guy who, like, cleaned the bathrooms. Like, he's important, too.
You don't just get to see the headliners and the director anymore. Or
Yeah.
that's what you only get to see anymore.
You only get to see the big titles.
But, I mean, it went straight from Max, like, killing someone or someone dying.
Yeah.
The Knight Rider!
I still don't get...
The Knight Rider!
Like, I still don't... You sounded like Marge Simpson when you did that.
Me. I need to work on the Mars.
But
I feel like I was closer to Knight Rider.
I feel like I like that they don't explain why he's so important. Like they're never like, oh, he's a really good driver. Or he was like our best friend. Or he was my brother.
Toe Cutter did say that. Toe Cutter was like, Knight Rider was the best of us. Like he said stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess. But I was like, I would like to know like what he means specifically to all of you. Like,
okay. Well, yeah, I guess. But it went instantly from like his eyes like going like huge and him dying to Max's wife playing saxophone, serenading
which is
him
like
and his
so
baby.
sexy. Like also, I want to say I thought the baby was just gonna kill itself because it's holding a gun like while they're like looking
Just
lovingly into its eyes,
gun.
and I was like, oh my god, this baby's gonna shoot itself in the face.
Just in the fucking
And then the wife's
face.
gonna kill herself. And, like, he's just gonna go insane. That's what I thought was gonna happen. So I was like, why? And then in another scene, he's, like, holding a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just a baby with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, it's just gonna die, like, by its own hand. Like, I'm not really gonna have to worry about the bikers. Like,
no, babe, but see, this is, like, people were fine back in the old days and the future days, you know? It's
in the 70s.
The 70s.
Babies can have guns.
The future
I
is
don't
like
know.
70s. Just give your baby a gun.
It's gonna get him one eventually. But, you know, we're gonna wrap it up.
I would recommend both those movies, though.
Yeah, if you're looking for a fun date night flick, check out Mad Max. It's on Netflix.
Adam McAvoy.
And I'm Lori Fag.
And this is Stop Being Hateful.
Oh, that was cute.